Hello, friends. Welcome back in the series of learning the concepts of macroeconomics. And today's topic in hand is gross investment, net investment, and depreciation. So let's begin. When we talk about investment, what comes to our mind? Investment means anything which enhances the production capacity. Right. Anything which enhances the production capacity. It can be a fixed asset, it can be inventory as well. Anything which stimulates the production. So, plant and machinery, land and building, any sort of inventories can be finished, semi processed, unprocessed. So, all these things fall under the category of the investments for organization. Investment, in other terms, will say the production capacity or the stock of capital. So this all is the capital. Capital means, again, reiterating from this. So this is the fixed capital. This is inventory. So fixed capital and the inventories. So when we measure the value of the capital stock of any organization or economy or a firm, right, without making the allowance of depreciation, so that becomes gross. In gross investments, we are interested in finding the value without the allowance of depreciation. And when we talk about the net investment actually gives us we do talk about the depreciation, and this is the true measure of any organization's production capacity. For example, if a machine is bought at say 10 lakhs at one time, right, and it's been now 4 years we are using that machine, so is that machine valued at 10 lakhs today also? No. So when we decrease the value of depreciation from that value, it becomes net. So what's the relationship between these two? Gross and net. How do we equate them? What is the deciding factor among these two? Net plus depreciation gives you gross. Or if we want to convert from net to gross, gross minus depreciation. So you have to just use this factor. This becomes negative here and this becomes positive here. This is a crucial equation which you would be using later for calculation of numericals. Gross and net. So when we're talking about depreciation, what actually is depreciation? Depreciation is the fall in the value of asset. So when I'm saying fall in the value of asset. Why would the value of asset fall? It happens on account of 2, 3 factors. Let us enumerate the same. First, the normal usage. Whenever we are using any sort of asset, any machinery, there would be some sort of wear and tear of the machinery. So the value of the asset falls down. Then we have the second is because of the passage of time. When I say passage of time, how does it hamper the value? For example, you take a machine, right? Just keep it wrapped and use it after 6 months. And the moment you are using it, you begin using it, you might find some sort of friction because the parts are now having some sort of rusting in between. Why the rust came? Because of this passage of time, there was some action of wind, water, rainfall. So all these uh, natural factors do deteriorate the value of the asset. And then we have the third is expected obsolescence. Now, what do you mean by the expected obsolescence? Expected obsolescence. Expected means it has to happen. It would come. Why? Because of the technology part. The technology we have today is expected to downgrade with passage of time. For example, you take one mobile, keep it wrapped beautifully, right? And if you are not using it after a year or so, would you be able to sell the same value, sell the same asset at that same value? No, you would never be so, because the things would have two, three, four more variants of the same. Over the period of time, the technology improves and the value of the asset does get reduced. So these are the reasons why the value of asset reduces, and this reduction altogether is termed as depreciation. Depreciation has got some other names as well. And what are these names? These are the consumption of fixed assets or the current replacement cost, replacement of assets, etc., etc. So you would be finding it differently named in different numericals. Many a times we do come across what is the difference between depreciation and capital loss. This is a question asked in the boards for 3 marks. So for every differentiation, you should have 3 to 4 marks pointers, right? Let's begin. When we talk about the depreciation and capital loss, the very first thing is the nature. What is that? This is expected to happen. Sure, it's going to happen. Any asset which you have taken would definitely be depreciating over a period of time. But capital loss may or may not happen. So this is unexpected in nature. You would not have it always. Right. So what happens? The phenomena. The phenomenon is here you find a fall in the value, means the value is decreasing, coming down day by day. But here it is a loss, total loss. In a sense, the next point is very much relevant. When we say loss, so talk about the production capacity. If any asset is depreciating, it would have production capacity though reduced. So production does happen in case of depreciation, but capital loss means there is no production capacity of the firm at all. But we haven't talked about what actually is this phenomena going to be, why it happens, the reasons are, you have already discussed. The depreciation happens on account the normal usage, means wear and tear. It does happen due to the passage of time and the expected obsolescence, right? But here this happens because of any natural unexpected factors or other factors also. Like you may have some thefts, machine is stolen altogether, how would you be making it? You may have tsunami, right? You may have floods, you may have earthquakes, you may have accidents, fire or something. So in such cases, you do not have the production capacity left with you. It's altogether shattered and ruined, right? So the last point here is, do you have any sort of provisions maintained against these losses? Yes, the provision is maintained against the depreciation, but we do not make any sort of provision for the capital loss here in the books of accounts. So I'm closing the session now for this topic. See you in the next video. Bye. Have a great day.